Every morning, Rekha and Anusha woke up at dawn to help their families with basket making. The rhythmic sound of weaving filled the air as their hands moved swiftly, creating beautiful patterns. Despite their hard work, the girls faced constant discrimination from the higher caste villagers. They were not allowed to fetch water from the common well, attend the same school, or even enter the village temple. This exclusion was a daily reminder of their lowly status. One day, as Rekha approached the well to fetch water, a group of women from the higher caste blocked her path. The women scolded her, telling her that the well was not meant for people of their caste. They humiliated her, making her return home with an empty pot and a heavy heart. The girls often faced harsh treatment from the villagers. At school, the discrimination continued. Rekha and Anusha were forced to sit outside the classroom, straining to hear the lessons through the open windows. The other children mocked them, throwing stones and calling them names. Despite the taunts, Rekha and Anusha remained determined. They knew that education was their only way out of this cycle of oppression. Their families also faced constant subjugation. When they tried to sell their baskets in the village market, the higher caste villagers would often refuse to buy from them or pay them less than what their work was worth. The hopelessness of their situation weighed heavily on Rekha and Anusha, but they refused to give up. They knew that they had to find a way to break free from the chains of caste discrimination and create a better future for themselves and their community. One day, a new schoolteacher named Arjun arrived in the village. He was different from the others, showing no regard for caste distinctions. Arjun noticed Rekha and Anusha sitting outside the school, watching longingly as the other children learned. Moved by their plight, he decided to teach them in the evenings after his regular classes. Under the shade of a large banyan tree, Arjun began their lessons. Rekha and Anusha absorbed knowledge like sponges, their dreams expanding with every lesson. They began to envision a future where they could rise above their caste, break free from the chains that bound them, and bring change to their community. The more they learned, the more determined they became. Rekha and Anusha's parents noticed the change in their daughters. Despite their worries about the social consequences, they supported the girls' education. Their evenings with Arjun sparked a hope that had long been dimmed by years of oppression. With every lesson, Rekha and Anusha felt more empowered and determined to uplift their community. They started to dream bigger, their imaginations soaring beyond the confines of their village and caste. Their bond with Arjun grew stronger, and they realized they had found not just a teacher, but an ally in their fight against caste discrimination. The spark of hope lit by Arjun's kindness began to burn brighter, illuminating a path forward that Rekha and Anusha were determined to follow. As their education progressed, Rekha and Anusha became determined to uplift their community. They devised a plan to start a cooperative that would showcase and sell their handcrafted baskets in the city. This would not only bring financial stability but also recognition to the basket maker's craft. The girls shared their idea with their families, who were initially skeptical. The fear of rejection and ridicule from the higher caste villagers loomed large. However, Rekha and Anusha's unwavering determination inspired them. They decided to move forward with the plan, despite the risks involved. The girls faced their first hurdle when they approached the village headman for permission to travel to the city. The headman, a staunch believer in maintaining caste hierarchies, refused outright. He warned them that stepping out of their designated roles would invite severe consequences. Undeterred, Rekha and Anusha decided to take matters into their own hands. With Arjun's help, they secretly arranged a trip to the city to meet potential buyers. They carried with them the finest baskets made by their families, their hearts filled with hope and trepidation. Their determination and unity were stronger than the fear and opposition they faced. Their secret plan was set in motion, and with it, a spark of hope began to light their path forward. In the bustling city market, Rekha and Anusha looked around in awe. The hustle and bustle were overwhelming, but they remained focused. They set up a small stall, arranging their baskets carefully. Their patience paid off when a young entrepreneur named Priya stopped by their stall. She picked up one of the baskets, admiring the intricate craftsmanship. Priya was impressed by their story and their determination. She offered to buy their baskets and promote their work. With Priya's support, Rekha and Anusha's cooperative began to take shape. They returned to Poraamai with their first order, a glimmer of hope shining in their eyes. However, the village headman soon learned of their venture and decided to take drastic measures to maintain the status quo. Their excitement was tinged with caution, but their resolve was unshaken. They knew they were on the right path, and nothing could deter them from their mission to uplift their community and break free from the chains of caste discrimination. One night, as the families in the basket maker colony slept, a malevolent shadow crept across the village. The moonlight barely pierced the dark clouds, casting an eerie glow over the huts. Rekha and Anusha were fast asleep, dreaming of their newfound hope and the opportunities that lay ahead. Suddenly, Rekha awoke to the smell of smoke. She shook Anusha, her voice trembling. Anusha groggily opened her eyes, but the growing sense of alarm in Rekha's voice snapped her fully awake. They both rushed to the door of their hut and saw flames dancing in the night, consuming the homes and workshops of their community. The villagers stumbled out of their homes, panic spreading like wildfire. They watched in horror as the flames devoured their hard work and memories. The air was filled with the acrid scent of burning bamboo and the sound of cries and shouts. The villagers gathered at a safe distance, watching helplessly as the flames reduced their homes and workshops to ashes. Tears streamed down Lakshmi's face as she clung to Rekha. Rekha held her mother tightly, feeling the weight of their loss but refusing to let despair consume her. Anusha stood by her side, her eyes filled with fierce determination. The night seemed endless, filled with sorrow and the smell of charred remains. As the first light of dawn broke through, the villagers gathered around Arjun, seeking guidance and hope. Rekha and Anusha rallied their community, their voices strong and unwavering. The villagers, inspired by the girls' courage and determination, began to pick up the pieces of their lives. With Arjun's help, they started to rebuild their homes and workshops, driven by a newfound sense of unity and purpose. Their journey had just begun, but Rekha and Anusha knew that with determination and unity, they could overcome any challenge and create a better future for themselves and their community. The day after the devastating fire, the community of Poraamai gathered under the banyan tree. The charred remains of their homes and workshops were a stark reminder of the destruction, but there was a flicker of hope in their hearts, fueled by Rekha and Anusha's unwavering resolve. Determined not to let the fire destroy their dreams, Rekha and Anusha encouraged their community to rebuild and come back stronger. With the support of Arjun and the activist Rani, The villagers worked tirelessly to reconstruct their homes and workshops. News of the fire and the bravery of the basket makers spread quickly, reaching Priya in the city. Priya, along with several other supporters, organized a fundraiser to provide immediate relief to the basket makers. Donations poured in, and within days, supplies and financial aid reached Poraamai. The villagers were overwhelmed by the outpouring of support and began to rebuild their homes and workshops with stronger and better resources. With the help of Priya, the basket makers formed a partnership with a major retail chain that agreed to buy and sell their baskets, ensuring a stable income for the artisans. The cooperative flourished, gaining recognition and respect, and the income generated from their sales improved the living conditions of the basket maker colony. The village headman, seeing the support and success of the basket makers, could no longer impose his unjust rules. Rekha and Anusha continued their education and became advocates for social change. They worked tirelessly to uplift their community and educate others about the importance of breaking down caste barriers. Their story inspired many in Poraamai and beyond to challenge caste discrimination and pursue their dreams. The conclusion of their journey brought with it a sense of triumph and fulfillment. Poraamai transformed into a village where caste distinctions began to fade. The basket makers' cooperative thrived, and Rekha and Anusha's story became a beacon of hope for many. The village school welcomed children from all castes, and the temple doors opened to everyone. Rekha and Anusha's advice to those affected by caste discrimination was simple yet profound: believe in yourself and your abilities. Stand united and support each other. Never let the chains of caste define your worth. Education and determination can break any barrier. Together, we can create a society where everyone is valued and respected, regardless of their caste.